I grew up pastor's kid and have been in church my whole life, so I don't think I'm the typical person that gets involved with recovery groups. Usually it's somebody that maybe didn't grow up in church. But for me, I grew up in church, but yet I really struggled. There were some issues I really struggled with. I just cried out to God. I was like, God, I don't know what to do. I've dealt with this my whole life. I've tried so many times. It never works. You know, please, just something. And it was in that panic I started going to recovery groups.
Of all the groups that Jeannie and I have been involved in at Whittier area, the Sunday class has been the most meaningful. We've been a part of the Kingdom Seekers for about 20 years.
My kids have gone through, some of the high school programs and whatnot, and I used to drop them off. And so when my husband became sick with colon cancer, we just were kind of at our wits' end, and we knew there was something there. We could feel God talking to us. It was as if God was just, tweaking our hearts more and more every week. So the next thing was that we saw the Sign for Alpha coming up, and we kind of were, wondering about how that would work. Would we fit in? So after looking at the flyer, it was kind of the questions we had, questions we were embarrassed to ask, questions that I just, I didn't know where to start. We were really comfortable in our table. Our pastor that was at our table, she just led us well. What was best about it was a safe environment. It was not judgmental. We were just all there to have a good time and learn and enjoy, and every week we did. And every week we had more questions. And it was like their blinders were taking off and we were getting new glasses to see everything.
The thing I like the most is that you get the opportunity to meet with other people who are struggling with the same issue you're struggling with. You feel more comfortable opening up about what your struggle is if other people understand what you're going through. And you wouldn't want to do it with people who are not struggling with the same thing, because then they're going to kind of judge you, or, it just doesn't feel comfortable.
God has gifted us. That means He expects us to be givers. So people have needs. And so we each have a chance to minister to those needs. I have needs. People in those groups that I belong to have a chance to minister to me in my needs. And recently, the biggest thing that happened in my life was my wife getting sick 10 months ago. And then she succumbed and went to be with the Lord. Throughout that time, people ministered to me and to my wife. In the 3 months since, they've continued to be important in my life and encouraging me and helping me through the grieving process.
I feel like we all have something to offer. I feel like everyone's experiences have, some meaning, and we help each other.
When I'm on my own and I isolate and I don't have that opportunity to get the support I need, that's when I start to falter.
Church is really the people that if you were going to have a meaningful church experience, you'd want to be interacting with these people and getting into a more intimate type of relationship. I love it when I hear that a Sunday school group has taken the sermon, for example, and then they get together and they talk about the sermon. Wow, that's really good. Let's find out, what did we hear? How do we apply that to our lives? It's kind of hard to do that, really, by yourself. It's working the way God intended, and I'm finding that out, personally.
For me, all that makes the journey that much more enjoyable and helpful, and to know that if I need to reach out, someone's there.
For the rest of my life, I'll be involved in some sort of recovery group. I might not be involved in the same groups the rest of my life, but I just feel I'll always be involved in a recovery group now, because I've realized that it's what makes the difference. It's what brings change and what brings hope, and it makes life better, much better.